And so in his lifetime, he initiated over 5,000 people into these practices just by word of mouth, just meeting with them in that way. So rather than thinking about your role in this divine drama as being something fantastic and special, and it might be, and it is in its own way, think about it more as being a part of a much greater whole and improving the world where you are right now. Speaking of music, I live in a condo. I used to live on 13 acres of land up in the Fairmont area, so I'm glad I don't have to mow all that grass anymore. But I live in a condo now, and in one of the parking lots, it overlooks like this beautiful mountain range. It's great. You know, I love going out there and looking. And I brought my mandolin out there one day, and I just sat there, and I was just playing, just real quiet, with some like waltzes and some little jigs and whatnot. And all of a sudden, I had this experience where I wasn't like playing to stick out, and I wasn't playing to show off. It was almost like what I was playing was so simple that it just fit right in with the landscape. You know, like when you hear a bird or when you hear the water, it's almost like it's not jumping out and saying, "Hey, look at me," but if it wasn't there, you would know it, right? And so it was so simple and it was so beautiful, and it was at that point that I realized that this whole thing called life isn't about just making you or the little me glorifying and making it the best you can be. It's simply about doing what's appropriate right now and fulfilling your role so that people don't really notice you, but if you're gone, they would. You see, it's just like that. Same thing with music. We take music for granted, but just imagine if there was no music. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. But it's so prevalent that we don't necessarily notice it. And so life, our purpose, is really to be like that. How can we contribute to the world? How can we do the best at what we are doing? And then when we're done, we just go. We move on to another level, whatever that level might be. It doesn't matter, because whatever you are right now, that's going to persist. Your body will fall away, your mind will fall away, your talents, your money, all these things will fall away, but your state of consciousness will always be here. It will always be right here. And so one of the things I was reading recently had to do with love being the greatest gift. And it was talking about how, Jesus' main thrust was, love one another in a sense. And that if we could follow that, if we could just simply love, and when I'm talking about love, I don't mean love as in the verb to do something. I mean love is just being a state of consciousness, holding that state of love. If we could do that, we would not break any of the commandments. Because if you loved your neighbor, you wouldn't covet thy neighbor's wife. If you loved God, you wouldn't take his name in vain. If you loved people and yourself, you wouldn't murder anyone, right? So if you do anything at all, and if you want to know a purpose or a meaning to life, make your point love. Because by doing that, you will generate a state of peace, of joy, that follows you everywhere. And then when you are around people, you don't have to say a thing. They'll feel it. They'll experience it. When you're not there, when they think of you, they'll experience that same thing. So love is the ultimate. And love is not something that you do. It's not something that has to be, it doesn't require a special action. All it requires is for you to draw up that feeling of love. Hold it, experience it, and just be it no matter what happens. No matter what happens. And next month when I'm here, the topic is the yogic secret of tranquility. And I'm just telling you what it is right now. It's just to be in love. To be in love all the time, no matter what, no matter what's going on. And imagine that. Imagine if you could experience unconditional love. Imagine no matter what you did, someone was always going to love you. No matter what you did. Okay? That is the saving grace. Now imagine if you yourself could manifest that love, how you would influence and impact the world. Because what's the problem the world has nowadays? I mean, it's got lack, it's got war, it's got poverty, all these sorts of things. It's got greed. And if there was more love in this world, those things would not occur. And I was thinking about this yesterday. Have any of you heard of the 100 monkeys syndrome thing? Yeah, where if for example, I'll try to describe it correctly. If you take some fruit and you throw it out at some monkeys, right? And they don't know how to get to the fruit. They don't know how to peel the rind off and whatnot. But let's say one monkey figures it out. All right, so one monkey's got it under control. So he shows a few others, and eventually we have 100 monkeys that now know how to peel this fruit and get it out. And so what they found is that once that occurs, once 100 monkeys figure something out, then all over the world, monkeys everywhere, now know how to peel this fruit and how to get at it. Somehow, they're on this island in the middle of nowhere, but monkeys on the other side of the world, and they're like, oh, wait, you're giving me this fruit? Sure, I know how to do this. So it's like a collective consciousness of monkeys, all right? And, if you think about it, we're really kind of like monkeys, right, in a sense. And so imagine if just 100 people in one location were able to, no matter what, just simply sit for 20 minutes to a half hour in perfect love, then that would make it easier for everyone, everywhere in this planet, to also access that state. So that's why it doesn't matter whether you are, being charitable and giving all your money away and, serving the poor and serving the needy. That's great. That does some good. But ultimately, it is by you accessing and holding that state of love in whatever you are doing, which allows other people to also get a little insight, a little burst of inspiration, which will allow them to do that as well. So your purpose in life, what do you like to do? Do that, enjoy it. Whatever you're doing right now, that is your purpose in life. Don't worry about it. Because think about it. If you're asking, what is my purpose in life, then you are not living your life. If you're asking, what is the meaning of life, you're thinking about something and you're not actually living it. It's like, what's the meaning of the song? Well, who cares what the meaning of the song is? Just play the damn thing, right? That's